Here's my audience.
Who do you want to go first? Does it matter?
You're good.
No, you just did.
Okay.
And Zach?
Hello.
And Lauren?
Hi.
Where is
She's-
she?
She's nowhere.
Where's Lauren?
Hi. Did that work? Okay.
Okay. Raised hand. All right, well, let's begin.
Yeah.
I'm now going to be demonstrating how to interpret a tarot card reading. Typically when I read tarot cards, I like to use a 10 card spread, but today for the sake of timeliness, I'll just be doing a quick 3 card spread. There are a few notes I have. Something I first want to say before I jump in are a little bit of the definitions behind the symbolism, because the symbolism here is a very big deal when you're reading tarot cards. And also another thing to remember is that a lot of people think that tarot cards are a way of telling the future, if you will, but really what they do is they mirror back what you are feeling and what your goals are, and really what your deeper wants and desires are. So if you know more about yourself and you know more about your own goals and ambitions, then the cards will reflect that back to you, and you can base your actions on that. So in a way, they're more of like a helping hand rather than a divination tool. But I took these cards out here to show you all the symbols and what they mean. This is a sword, and swords symbolize thought, information, yourself, your intellect, really the forefront of your brain, your mind, you know, the thinking processes. Secondarily, here we have wands. Wands represent vision, intuition, success or failure, really the unseen thing, the surreal, the ethereal, I guess. Pentacles. Next, it looks like a coin, but it doesn't always just mean money. It means everything materialism, everything external in your external reality, the tangible. For example, if a farmer were to look at the cards and he'd see a lot of pentacles, in his opinion, he would have a good harvest, or things would go well in his field for him. And lastly, we have cups. There's the Ace of Cups there. And cups represent your emotions, your feelings, relationships, a lot to do with the heart. That's cups. And one last thing to remember, in a whole deck you have the major arcana and the minor arcana, which I'm sure a lot of you have already heard before. If you get a lot of major arcana cards in your spread, it generally means that the solution to your problem is something that requires a lot of introspect and a lot of thought and a lot of big changes. Those are, you'll see a lot of the archetypal symbolic pictures in there. And if you get a lot of minor cards, you want to pay closer attention to the numbers therein, the symbols, you know, things that really stand out to you, to figure out how they connect to you and your situation. Now, this spread is called Solution. My bad. This one is called Problem Suggestion Solution. All right? The first card here represents my problem. It's the suggestion from the cards, or from within, and the solution to my problem. A little bit of background about the question that I asked requires me to inform you that I've been recently given an opportunity to join a spiritual organization, and I've been given the opportunity to be a coordinator for the state of New York. I'm really excited. There are many thousands of people in this organization, so I'm really excited and I'm really happy to get to share my experiences and help them as much as they are going to help me. But recently I realized that I am ready to just jump right in, and I want to start my own conferences, and I want to start my own interviews and forums and all that. But I've literally just been given this opportunity last week, just a few days ago. So as you can see, that plays a bit of a part here. So this, the Fool, my problem, this card represents me and my question. The Fool is a very carefree person, almost careless, really. He's going off into the unknown. He's got a very optimistic attitude. I have here in the book a few notes. I'll show you this book when I'm done. The card is telling me to let go of worries and let go of self-doubt and really just embrace the changes that are coming with an optimistic attitude. If I wanted to apply this card to the future outcome, then it can signal a new beginning and a change of direction. So it definitely applies to me. It definitely applies to my situation. We're off to a good start. The suggestion made by my inner self is the Queen of Swords. She's very regal. She's very stern. She's very responsible. If you remember, swords have a lot to do with my thoughts and my intellect. And my handy dandy book here, by the way, is called the Tarot Bible. I underlined a few notes here just to give you all a little bit of the application to myself. She says it's fine being upfront and direct, or the witty, perceptive authority on life, but it can also mean that I could be suppressing some emotional needs. I'll go into that a little bit more with the end here, but the Queen of Swords as a suggestion is telling me that perhaps being so sure of oneself intellectually is often a compensation for a deeper vulnerability that needs to be addressed. Alright, lastly, the solution to my zest over my opportunity is the Seven of Wands. Wands are representative of my own vision and my own intuition. The card reminds me to have courage of my convictions and to make sure that I know what they are. Furthermore, it's not a passive card. It's one that I must face myself with. Okay, a little bit more details into that. I'm often a little sensitive towards criticism, and most any kind of opposition I tend to take personally, and that's going to be a huge obstacle for me to overcome. It's something that I definitely need to work on, especially if I look forward to speaking to thousands of minds who share the same goal as me, but may disagree about a few things. I'm gonna have to be honest about what I personally want and take action accordingly. This spread has told me that the best thing to do to resolve my insatiable, overzealous attitude to jump right in and start my own conferences, I should first of all be more prepared. I should write down a list of what it is I believe and what it is I believe is best for the organization, for humanity really, and for myself and for my family. Lastly, I'd just like to add here, this is a book that I refer to often when I'm reading spreads for my friends and for my family. I've become pretty good at it. I feel like I can apply most of the symbolism and most of the ideals from the cards to situations that myself or my friends are going through. And I would recommend this practice to anybody. I really would, because it's not only is it a lot of fun, but it's a great way to learn yourself. And if you want anyone else to love you or you to love anyone, self-love comes first.